If you have enough petrodollars to fill an oil tanker, or just don't need another 500-foot-long luxury super yacht, then buying a Barclays Premier League team might be the thing for you. We are talking owners.
There's an old adage that says that if you want to make a little money, then start with a lot of money and buy a football team. And I think that they are the sort of things that are Richmond's playthings.
Owning a Premier League team is like the ultimate prestige symbol now.
I guess people want to buy a team for... It's a mix of probably wanting attention and then wanting control.
If you own a club, you can tell the footballers what to do. You can lend John Terry your yacht. You can be like John Terry's best friend. And people love that. I mean, most people out there, most Chelsea fans, would do anything to be the player's best friend. I mean, anything. And if you've got money, why not?
What sets up an owner as being good or bad?
So a good owner supports the manager, gives him some funds, doesn't sack a guy every 6 months that we see sometimes in English football as well, and just lets him get on with it. That would be the perfect owner.
You don't want an owner who thinks he's a manager. It doesn't work.
They've got to be true to the traditions of the club. They've got to look after the fans. They've got to make sure that ticket prices aren't too much. And the general ethos of a soccer club has got to be respected by an owner. But if they're not winning anything, fans will say and they will complain that we need to spend more money.
I mean, the ideal owner for any English Premier League team is a gentleman whose hobbies include smashing Fabergé eggs, taking barrels of money and setting them on fire. If those are your hobbies, you make the perfect English Premier League owner.
The ownership of the teams has changed so much in the last 2 decades. Not just the amount of money, but the profile of the owners, the type of people who are coming in and buying into the game.
You want a foreigner with just buckets and buckets and buckets of money.
It's billionaires, it's oligarchs, it's consortiums, it's oil sheiks.
You've got Malaysian owners at Cardiff City. You've got Arab owners at Manchester City. At Chelsea, we've got the oligarch Roman Abramovich.
Roman, Chelsea, I love you, man. He'll have a manager who makes it to the FA Cup final or gets the UEFA Championship and say, like, nah, not good enough. He's a billionaire with not a lot of patience.
I think working for Roman Abramovich must be the most terrifying job in football.
To work for Abramovich. I have no idea. You constantly would watch your back.
He's a monster. Like, he's kind of... I mean, he is like a volcano away from being a Bond villain.
He expects victory and wins and return on his investment all the time. Remember, he did fire our most successful manager in history, which was Jose Mourinho. Now he's hired him back. That seems somewhat volatile to me.
They say about life in the Middle Ages that it was nasty, brutish and short, and I imagine working at Chelsea probably feels the same.
I think the best owners right now are the group that owns Manchester City. They've put together a great team. They're willing to spend huge amounts of money to keep the team good. And they wanted to build an exciting team, which as a fan, that's what I want to see.
The owners of the 2 Manchester clubs are ideal in 2 different ways. Manchester United is owned by a family that sees the team as a business, but also understands the love the fans have for the team.
We love United, we do! We love United, we do! Oh, United, we love you!
Manchester City is owned by basically a rich uncle, which everybody loves. So one is building a great legacy, the other is just making the time on the pitch the most exciting thing ever, because you get every single toy you've ever wanted. Those are great owners to have.
There's a few American owners in the Premier League now. There's the Glazer family at Manchester United and Fenway Sports Group at Liverpool and Randy Lerner at Aston Villa.
The problem with the American ownership model is English football fans think, and wrongly think, by the way, now, that Americans know nothing about the sport. They don't care about the sport. You know, me being here, I know that they do, and I know that the knowledge base is growing, the passion for the sport is growing, and I think American wealthy sports owners realizing there's a lot of money to be made there.
That is a terrific goal from Christian Benteke!
I think the more involvement that Americans can have in soccer, the better, in any shape or form. And in fact, like having the same guys owning the Red Sox and Liverpool has actually brought a lot of attention to soccer for Americans.
If things go bad for a club that's owned by an American owner and the money's not forthcoming and the funds are drying up and the team is struggling, then the focus comes back onto the ownership, and that's not an easy time for them.
Yeah, I would love to see Jerry Jones own a Premier League team. You know, the way he is with the Cowboys, it would be interesting to see who he would try and buy and sell, the way that he would kind of add to the drama, I think, of the Premier League.
Mark Cuban will probably be the next owner if he hasn't already bought a team since I just started this sentence, you know. I don't know how he hasn't bought a team yet.
To own a Premiership League team, I mean, come on. What could be bigger than that?
Coming up, majestic arenas and being close to the action.